Hello YouTubers, Troz here, playing some Minecraft, which I haven't done for quite a while. And I saw earlier this week a video by JL2579, and he pointed out a change to hopper minecarts that I did not know about, and he used it to build a super smelter. Well, as you can see behind me, I built a super smelter way back in, actually, before November 2013, because that's when I did a video on it. I showed it off in our 1.7 amplified world, and it was based off this design that's behind me, although this design has the output on the side, the long side. I had put it on the short side or the front, whatever you want to call it, and I had kind of cleaned it up a bit from this. Let's go around into first person here. But basically you have the ore input on this side and the fuel input on this side. You have lights that indicate when you need fuel, and the output is here. As you can see in this one, I have lots of baked potatoes and some iron. Although you can see I have some blaze rods, which I was using for fuel at the time because we're building it right near our blaze XP farm. But this one mostly uses chest minecarts, and only uses hopper minecarts to pick up items out of the furnaces. Well, it used to be that, at least as far as I could tell, hopper minecarts would only pick up something one every 4 ticks, and basically the same rate as hoppers, but apparently in the 1.8 snapshot sometime that changed, and now they can pick up items once a tick. And that means you can take great advantage of that to fill up hopper minecarts really quickly. Now this design is a 64 furnace super smelter. The problem is it's not quite fast enough. The way this works, you put in some items and you press it and it fills up a chest minecart using 2 hoppers. But by the time this one gets around, this one does have 64, but it takes slightly longer. Like, this will stop smelting. You can see it's already stopped smelting before the next item comes out. So, or the next hopper comes, minecart with a chest comes out. So you lose some efficiency. Instead of 8 smelts per coal, you only get 7. But I have looked at what JL2579 has done. I'll obviously link his video in the description below. But I have basically used some of his ideas and the new knowledge of the changes to hopper minecarts here, and made a much better design. If you don't recognize these, over here, I'm on my creative world, by the way. This is my super flower farm that was in my airship. These are some prototypes of the airship and the flower farm and everything. See it loading in over here before I moved it over to a different creative world to finish off. But down here is the final design, and there was a temporary or a testing new design. A little bit of lag there. So first I'll show off the changes to hopper minecart mechanics, and then I'll show this off. So here I have a chest, it's a normal chest. We got some items in it, and here we have a hopper minecart. It is empty, and I'll just push the button, and then I'll click on the hopper minecart, and you can see it is filling really, really fast, once a tick. And because of that, we can now, just over 6 seconds, get enough items to go fill 64 furnaces. So this is the design I came up with. Your items to smelt go in this chest, if you have actually more, you can put them, split the rest between these two chests. Normal hoppers still move items at 1 every 4 ticks. So between these two chests, you have 4 hoppers filling this chest. So it should keep up with the rate that the hopper minecarts are taking out if you split the remaining items between these two chests. Over here is your fuel side. I just have coal. Anything that will, run for at least 4 smelts should be good. Coal does 8. Anything bigger than that. Sticks probably aren't a good choice. This whole machine here is 10 blocks wide, 6 tall, 7 if you want to count the floor, because there is some like redstone or rails on the floor, so you may want to count that as being 7 tall, and it is 33 blocks long. There are 16 furnaces on this side, 16 here, 16 here, and 16 here. This is completely fueled and emptied using hopper minecarts. Basically, there are 3 separate sets of rails here, 2 on the top. This outer one brings the items to smelt, smeltable items. Then the inner track brings the fuel, and then there's a track underneath that collects the items. We have 1 hopper minecart distributing fuel. There are 2 hopper minecarts distributing smeltable items, and there are currently 3 hopper minecarts collecting items and putting them in these chests. That's actually the bottleneck, because we basically empty the hopper minecarts with normal hoppers, so we can only get 2 items out per tick. Or 2 items out every 4 ticks, I should say. So that's basically the bottleneck of the whole system, is just the output. This light is on when you have fuel. As long as there's 1 piece of fuel still in this chest, this light will be on. This light will be on while there are things to smelt. There's a master on-off switch here, and it actually automatically resets and all sets up. But that was originally a problem, but then I figured out this little trick here. Remember back in the day that you could make little one-way uphills, and got that to work. So basically, if it's running, you just let at least 1 minecart pass up here. You turn it off. That 1 minecart will stop over here. The other 2 will eventually come up and stop here. And all the rest of the system is okay. The 1 fuel cart will just return to the station, and the 2 item carts or smelting items carts, 1 will be in the station and 1 will just stop on this little slope. When you turn it on, it will take 1 loop before items start coming out of the chests. But other than that, it's all ready to go. And once it is, running, you can fill this at any time. And of course, if you want to prevent lag and stuff, you can just shut it off when you're all done. Let's see this thing in action. It's time set. So right now, this is empty. We have just this chest full of fuel, and I am going to fill this halfway with sand. You can see it's already draining out. Obviously, if I had a whole bunch of sand in my inventory, I could, I believe it's shift double click to move it all at once. I'm in creative though, so cloning the stacks is easiest. The very first time you run it, you may want to press this button first. That will send out the fuel minecart to preload the fuel. at least one item, one coal per furnace. You can see I actually have been testing it, so I have a lot. Ooh, how did that happen? Little little bug there. We will work it all out. Anyhow, the one reason for sending that fuel cart out first is the items. Ooh, a little hitch there again. Items go in basically a counterclockwise direction while the fuel is filled in a clockwise direction. So the items start filling here while the fuel starts filling here. So if you never run it and it doesn't have any fuel, it makes sense to send out the fuel cart once. After that, it will be sent out automatically every other item cart. So I'm going to turn the machine on, and we will see this all go. These carts will just kind of bang around until they get moving a little bit there. And, oop, I took one piece of redstone out. There. So as soon as this gets back to that corner, it signals the next cart to come out. And there's more than plenty enough time to get almost 2 stacks in there before it gets sent out again. And to show that this is efficient, before this runs out, you saw the 2 popped up, so we aren't wasting any fuel. We're putting a second item in a fraction of a second before it finishes smelting the previous item. And then the collection carts run underneath, and when they have items, they'll basically stop here until they're empty. And if they're both full, it will just go around again and collect again. So that one's about to come out. And now that that space, that one that was basically sent away before, will now be able to stop and unload. And see, we already have 2 stacks and getting more. And see how quickly that empties when there's a cart there. And this is filling up. So this is basically my version of a new Super Smelter based on the new hopper minecart mechanics. And this is a 64 furnace version, and it's relatively compact, uses much less hoppers than JL 2579's version. I am only using 2 hoppers per furnace, plus about 16 more for in between these chests here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 more. Plus 6 for the minecarts. Where I believe he had actually 4 hoppers per furnace, plus some more to wire it up to his front interface. Now, his front interface was a little more compact. I have a bunch of minecart lines and some redstone lines. But he only had 48 furnaces, and I have 64, and I believe mine is just slightly bigger, by like 3 or 4 blocks. It's the same width, I think the same height, but yeah, I have my front here is a bit longer than his. Plus I have an extra 16 furnaces. So, yeah, that's all this. I'll have a link to the schematic for this. Obviously, this isn't pretty. I just, proof of concept. So, cobblestone. You can replace the cobblestone with whatever you like. The only tricky part is some of the rails getting it in the correct direction, like this rail right here to keep it turned the right way. I had to power it. So if you build this in a different orientation, you may not need that, or you may need that in different places for different other turns. Alright, we are actually all done here. And, yeah, look at that. We just have to have the collection minecarts. Alright, I think we're all collected. We just have to let them unload now. So you can see it's about a row behind. Yeah, and there's one still going around, and it probably has a whole bunch. But it works relatively quickly. You see we're dropping these items off pretty quick. And it lags behind the start just a little bit. Alright, that is almost done there. Yeah, and this is designed to not miss anything. Everything that's smelted will be collected. I think we're down to just one unloading now. Yeah, the minecarts will bounce around and slow down a bit, but there's always a booster rail close by to keep them moving. I have not seen them got stuck yet. So we have storage for up to 3 chests worth of stuff, and it's basically just letting them all filter through now. Come on. Yeah, we got a little there. And that should be it in a moment. Well, there we go. Alright, to shut this off, I find the best way is you just wait until one of the minecarts are up in this area, and you just flip the switch. That minecart will stop there. These 2 minecarts will stop down here, and the filler minecarts, you see this one is up on the slope, and that one just came into there, and the fuel minecart also will just stop there. The fuel minecart and the filler minecarts are triggered off of this, so when the one filler minecart comes over here and passes here, it will trigger both the next filler minecart and the fuel minecart if the fuel minecart happens to be there. That just runs down in this center. Other than that, the only redstone that runs down the center and then gets split here and here. This lever powers this slope of rail. It also powers this little line of redstone. Oh, another big lag spike there. And that comes over and powers this slope, and it also powers this little section right here. Other than that, the only redstone is the little comparator to get these lights, and then basically this little loop here to turn on and off these powered rails here if their cart has items. So as soon as an item drops into that hopper down there, it turns the power off and keeps the minecart there until it's empty, and then the power comes back on. And that's basically it. Just a few redstone blocks and a few torches to power these powered rails and keep everything moving. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Hopefully get some more people back on the multiplayer server that I play on. It's really quiet. That's why I really haven't been playing that much Minecraft. They're not really that much fun when you're the only person on the server. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys more Minecraft if I hear of any other interesting changes or figure out any other neat things to do with this change. Thanks for watching.